Imagine two extremely irresponsible and young people deciding that they want to have a baby. Their reasoning? It's easy to take care of something small, right? If that sounds crazy to you, that's literally what it's like to be a pet hamster. Hamsters are known for being sweet little companions that require limited living space, relatively no responsibility aside from giving them food and water, and cleaning their tiny cage, right? That's why they make such great beginner pets for children. I'm hoping that you guys can see how ridiculous that sounds, because hamsters are living, breathing creatures, not children's toys. A baby does not require any less responsibility than a teenager simply because they're smaller. I too was a young hamster owner. After begging my parents for years to allow me to get a hamster, they finally caved. I promised to give them fresh food, fresh water, and clean their cage every so often. As I mentioned earlier, that's not even touching the surface of proper hamster care. And that's where all my problems started. I was a typical beginner hamster owner. Just walked into PetSmart, picked out a cage that looked cool, got the cheapest food that they offered, and maybe got 1 or 2 plastic huts. After bringing my hamster home, I placed her in her brand new, very small cage, and I immediately wanted to play with her. Of course, the second I opened the door to her cage, she bit me very hard, and for the next 3 years I lived in fear of this hamster. I would clean the cage as little as possible so I would never have to touch her, and I never ever fed her when she was awake. My story's not unique. I had absolutely no idea how to tame or bond with this creature, and due to the living area that I placed her in, she had no intention of bonding with me either. Hamsters require patience, hard work, financial stability, and acceptance, most of which young children do not have. Today I'm going to talk about proper hamster cages, enrichment, diet, and bigger responsibilities that come with owning a hamster in order to prove why hamsters are not suitable beginner pets. I want to start off today talking about the biggest mistake that I've made with my very first hamster, and that was the cage that I bought her. Katherine Milligan's 2020 Hamster Care Guide blog states, quote, starter cages that don't allow for enough room for normal behavior and enrichment can lead to boredom, depression, aggression, and even health issues. This is what my very first hamster was experiencing. Milligan also states that the U.S. bare minimum requirement of floor space for hamster cages is 450 square inches, but the standard is not followed by most pet stores, meaning that when you go into a pet store, you can't expect to be able to just buy a hamster cage right on the spot. Oftentimes, you're going to have to end up making your own for your hamster. That's a really big reason why hamsters shouldn't be considered beginner pets, because even their cage alone, like where they live, takes a lot of energy and maturity to get right. Along with having a bigger cage comes the possibility of, again, having more enrichment. And of course, this is a perfect segue right into my second topic, which is enrichment. Hamsters need wheels. That is one of the biggest parts of their enrichment. They run up to 7 miles a night. That's crazy. So they need large wheels, and a lot of times the ones that are sold in stores are not suitable for hamsters. Shocker. So you end up having to do some online shopping or even making your own like wooden wheel of some sort. Another reason why they shouldn't be considered beginner pets. According to a 2010 article from the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, ASPCA, you need to, quote, give your hamster appropriate chew toys to help wear down their teeth, which grow constantly, end quote. This is another example of enrichment ideas, and of course, hamsters' teeth grow continuously throughout their life, so it's important that you don't get them plastic huts or plastic toys, which, again, are sold by most pet stores. And an inexperienced pet owner won't know that those toys are really not good for their pet. Along with enrichment also comes foraging. In order to properly allow your hamster to forage, you have to sprinkle their food throughout their cage rather than just putting it in a bowl. Of course, this can be tiresome or annoying because your hamster is going to kind of need you to do that every single day, which is another big responsibility and another reason why they shouldn't be considered beginner pets. A 2021 article from the Animal Humane Society states that the word hamster is created from a German root of the word meaning to hoard. So quite literally, a hamster's life is foraging and hoarding their food in their pouches to bring it back to their den. If you are not able to fulfill that aspect of their life, then you are not allowing your hamster to live the way it's supposed to. Along with foraging comes diet, and that's my third topic for today. According to an ASPCA Hamster Care article in 2010 mentioned earlier, quote, a high-quality rodent chow, also called wrap blocks, should be available to your pet at all times. Supplement this with a hamster mix made up of pellets, grains, seeds, and dried veggies. This is just yet another reason why hamsters should not be considered beginner pets, because not a single diet on the market for hamsters right now is efficient in getting all of their nutrients that they need, because you need to supplement wrap blocks as well as a seed mix together, and of course that's going to be pricey, and a lot of children and first-time pet owners aren't looking to buy two different types of food for one animal. According to a 2019 Hamster Care article from the Animal Health Topics School of Veterinary Medicine, hamsters should be supplied with fresh water daily, either in a bottle or a bowl. Now, this is yet another reason why hamsters are not meant to be beginner pets, because oftentimes hamsters will only want one or the other. You might have to end up buying more than one bottle or more than one bowl, which of course can get a little bit pricey, which is why they don't make great beginner pets. Along with money comes just bigger responsibilities. According to the Animal Health Topics of School of Veterinary Medicine, hamsters on average live from 1.5 to 3 years. This is one reason that some think that hamsters are great beginner pets, because they live in a short amount of time, so they're really not going to take up that much of your life. However, within their lifespan, they need constant care and respect as creatures. According to the ASPCA, hamsters are nocturnal and need to be left alone when they are sleeping. They are less suitable for children because of this, that when children need to go to bed at a specific time, hamsters are awake. When hamsters get ill, their vet visits can be pricey. I took my hamster to the vet and the bill was astronomical, because they require a lot of money and time. You need to respect your hamster, and you need to understand that some hamsters just don't want human interaction as much as others. Overall, hamsters are not beginner pets. They are not easy to take care of, and they require patience and maturity, which a lot of first-time pet owners do not have. Due to their large cage size requirements, extensive enrichment needs, complex diet, pricey visits, and overall responsibility that come along with owning them, they should never be considered a beginner pet. Thinking back on my first hamster, I would have done everything differently. But hamsters are a lot of work, and honestly, they can be a great pet to own once you reach a certain maturity. My story is not unique. There are tons of kids out there who can't take care of hamsters but still want to have them. If we stop considering hamsters to be beginner pets or children's pets, we can save so many of them from the terrible lives that they are quite literally bred to live, in a tiny cage with someone who has absolutely no idea what they need to survive and thrive.